Joel Klatt came out this week with a take that is so bad that I had to do my hair not well today, if we're being honest. Put on some mascara, sit down, set up my camera and my microphone because I just can't let that happen without a response. So he went on some show and said that we don't want Cinderellas in college football. One, speak for yourself. Two, shut up. And he said that the NCAA tournament, like March Madness, is the worst tournament in sports, the dumbest one. Shut up again. And that it is the least fair tournament in sports. I've always said men should not have access to microphones. This is why I think that. But Joel Klatt saying this super dumb, stupid take, which is just a bad one, has sort of been a pattern that I've noticed this year, and maybe it's because I'm more in the media space than I previously have been, and the conversation around college football has been more, heated recently, but the voices that represent this sport, the ones with the largest platforms and the biggest audiences and the most power, have really seemed to not like this sport very much. I think you can go back as to the Lane Kiffin saga, where you were seeing the way that sort of the College Game Day crew was really riding for Lane Kiffin to get everything he wanted, and it felt kind of yucky. Felt kind of gross. And then you move on to Notre Dame getting left out of the playoff and 2 Group of 5 teams getting in. And there's a whole video I made on this that you should check out. And you have Paul Feinbaum telling everybody that the Group of 5 should not be there. They shouldn't be allowed. While Greg Sankey is pissed off because he was actively campaigning for 7 SEC teams to get into the college football playoff, these voices who are in charge of college football just shitting all over it all the time. And to the point where so many of these people have had to come out and be like, hey, no, we at ESPN, we're not here to promote one conference or another. Like Nick Saban's cracking jokes about it, but you can feel sort of this resentment for what college football is from these voices that should be convincing you to love it. And for me, as a fan, and I guess sort of a media member myself, I don't really know. I wouldn't call myself that. I know how I behave. I don't think I've earned that title. It's really, bumming me out. Shut up. Because for me, when I look at what makes college football great, and I think the consensus of college football fans would agree with this, is it is not the 12-team playoff. It is not a Georgia-Alabama national championship game. It is when App State beats Michigan, and how that is still such an insane part of the culture in Western North Carolina. I grew up an hour from there, and you cannot go anywhere without seeing somebody wearing a 2007 App State Michigan shirt. They still sell them at the Walmart. Or the insane vitriol and hate and energy of a Red River rivalry game. Or any of these regional rivalries that mean so much to these teams, where Texas A&M should be the happiest team in the world because they're going to the playoff, and they're all still pretty bummed out about not beating Texas. And the pageantry of it all, Texas A&M is the perfect example for that, of just the weird stuff they got going on down there. If college football's simple purpose was, let's see the best teams play each other, and that is it. That is what we want. We want to see the best teams win and the best teams advance and everything about the best teams. And everything about the best teams. I would watch the NFL. I would simply watch the NFL. Because the NFL is objectively a higher quality version of what these people want college football to be. My favorite parts about college football are the upsets, are the weirdness. This was such a moment that, I became a true hater, was the reaction to Duke making the ACC championship game. How silly is that? How objectively funny and how purely college football it is for Duke, who was 7-5 and had lost to UConn, to somehow, through a weird rule, make it to the ACC championship game. That is college football. That's why I like it. Because there is so much weirdness and chaos and just an insane nature to it. The heart of the college football season is the regular season and the weirdness and the chaos and the culture and how deeply people care. Obviously, the sport has become way more professional and capitalistic over the last few years with NIL and conference realignment and the transfer portal and every sort of thing that's going on. And I don't think it's wrong to say that there are a lot of issues in college football. I agree. There are so many issues with the foundation of how college football is set up, but the sport itself is still pure. The sport itself still rules. Memphis beating Arkansas rules. UCLA beating Penn State is awesome. Where Joel Klatt would tell you, no, Penn State should have won because they're more talented. We want to see the best team win. No, we don't. We want to see this sport play out in the way it was meant to, which is with complete and total chaos. I just don't know any sport where, one, the people who support it hate it so much. Like, okay. And two, the idea of hating a Cinderella. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, what are we doing? It's very emblematic of our current day and age in society. We're like, we hate the little guy. What? I don't know. It's just been so disheartening for me as a fan of this sport. Because the people who I used to really enjoy what they have to say, I don't really want to listen to anymore, because it's just bringing this level of, like, darkness around something that's not that dark. There are issues, but at the end of the day, it's college football, man. This is not the end of the world. For me, looking back at college football, my favorite moments ever are the weird ones and the underdog ones, and I think most college football fans would agree. I don't know. It's just made me sad recently because I'm trying to find... I want to consume content by people who actually love college football. It just makes me sad because loving college football is not something that is lame. It's very cool, actually. It's very cool. I'm very popular. I have a lot of friends. But I didn't blend my concealer that well. Whoopsies. I promise to love college football on this channel, so please subscribe. And then I can take over the world and everyone will love college football. But I'm going to out.